Oh, come in. My sincerest apologies. I must not have heard you come in through the main entrance. I've been stuck here all day studying these land transactions, and as you can imagine, they're quite mind-numbing. Can I offer you anything to drink? We just recently received a shipment of some of the finest whiskey Georgia has to offer. Charlestown, to be exact. We're lucky enough to get several shipments from them at a cheaper price due to my reputation. May I inquire how your journey was? I can imagine it was quite strenuous. Coming down from Philadelphia to Orange in just 6 days. I would consider it an accomplishment if I got from here to Yorktown in just 3. How is it working in the print shop of old Ben himself? I can remember the first time I met old Ben. It was in, of course, the first couple meetings of Congress when I was personally introduced. I was just a young lawyer trying to make a name for myself, and he was well known for a variety of occupations. I first heard the name Ben Franklin when I was reading Poor Richard. I was about 15 or so, and I was starting to take my education quite seriously and was getting my hands on any piece of literature I possibly could find. My father acquired the book a year or so after it was released to get advice on the next planting season and what crops would be doing well next year. But enough about ancient history. I suppose you're here to talk about the recent past. But what would one want to know about James Madison? Oh, my presidency, of course. The first few years were easier than you can imagine. The country was just starting to form an identity. National pride was booming, and many of the issues that consumed Washington, Mr. Adams, and Jefferson were starting to disappear. People no longer refer to themselves as Tory or revolutionary, but American. The economy also started to grow, and we started exporting thousands of pounds of goods around the world. We were not stuck at the mercy of France, Great Britain, or Spain anymore. Those early years for me as president were easy. I could focus on making an agenda that I believed would help not only me and my party, but the people of America. I wanted to make sure that there would be true competition for any political office. I think that's where Britain went wrong with their organizations of Congress. If we had had free and fair elections, I doubt we would be two separate nations, the ones we are today. So when the Federalists were finally defeated by my party, the Democratic Republicans, it was a true sign that this system was in fact going to work. That system, that Constitution, the system they put in place that so many people thought would fail within the first few years, they were proved wrong. That document was like a child to me, and I wanted to make sure that it got all the attention I could give it. I didn't mean to get so emotional over the document. It was just a piece of parchment. You were saying? Right, so after my election, I focused on expanding the country's influence. I was and still am a firm believer that in order for a country to sustain itself, it must expand its borders. When I helped Jefferson acquire the Louisiana Purchase from France, it was step one in making sure that our young nation would be validated by world powers. I think that's why, maybe, I was so willing to go to war with Britain. When Great Britain started taking our sailors as captives, it was so personal that I could not. I would not just sit here and do nothing while the young men of our country were going to waste. It was unacceptable to me. The nation back then was so volatile and eager to do whatever their leader said. Maybe I was too emotional in my decision to go to war. I should have taken the time and energy to fully weigh the issues that involve war. It was because of my pride and my temper that we lost so many lives, and I regret that decision to this very day. Now, for the most part, I am very proud of what I did as president. I made sure we were on good diplomatic standings with many nations. I helped the economy grow. I increased the power of the presidency. Many people will look back and question my decisions and my policies. I give them the right. I would be disappointed if they did not. But more than my time as president, I hope they remember me for who I truly was. The man who wrote the Bill of Rights. A man who forever changed people's views on government and how the government should act and cater towards its people. I hope they remember the Constitution and the sacrifices that were made to ensure that this country would forever be a beacon of hope and courage, so that people who are oppressed would have the courage to stand up for their rights and let no one come in between them and their rights for liberty, life, and the pursuit of their happiness. Of course, it was my pleasure. I wish you a safe journey home. Take care and good night.